Something happens to women at 40 that most men never see coming. It doesn't look dramatic at first. No warning, no announcement, no clear moment you can point to. But one day, you realize she's not the same person anymore. And the craziest part, she didn't just wake up like this. This change has been building for years. At first, everything feels normal. She's still there, still smiling, still doing what she always does, cooking, planning, taking care of everyone. But something feels different. You can't explain it. It's subtle, a shift in energy, a distance you can feel but can't prove. And that's where it begins. Because when a woman reaches 40, she starts asking questions. Questions she ignored for years. Questions she buried under responsibilities. Questions like, is this really the life I wanted? Is this all there is? And once those questions start, they don't stop. Here's the part nobody tells you. For years, she adapted. She became what was needed: a wife, a mother, a support system. She gave her time, her energy, her identity, piece by piece, until one day she looks in the mirror and barely recognizes herself. And that's when everything changes. Not overnight, but fast enough to feel like it did. She starts pulling back, not loudly, quietly, emotionally. You notice she talks less, shares less, laughs less, but she thinks more, a lot more. And here's the twist. It's not about you, at least not entirely. It's about her, about everything she never processed, everything she postponed, everything she sacrificed. Because at 40, time feels different. It's no longer endless. It becomes real, limited, urgent. And that realization, it hits hard. Suddenly, she wants to feel something again. Excitement, freedom, desire, things that slowly faded over the years, not because she didn't care, but because life got in the way. And this is where most men get it wrong. They think, she changed. But the truth is, she's revealing who she's been suppressing. Now pay attention, because this next part is where things get complicated. She starts doing things that don't make sense, at least not to you. She becomes more focused on herself, her appearance, her time, her space. She sets boundaries she never had before. She says no more often. And it feels unfamiliar, almost cold. But it's not cold. It's clarity. She begins to realize something powerful. She doesn't want to live the next 20 years the same way she lived the last 20. And once that thought locks in, everything starts shifting. Her priorities change. What mattered before doesn't hit the same. What she tolerated becomes unbearable. What she ignored becomes impossible to ignore. And here's where tension builds. Because while she's evolving, you're expecting consistency. You want the version of her you've always known, but that version is slowly disappearing. Now ask yourself this: would you even recognize her if she fully became who she wants to be? Because most men don't lose her suddenly. They lose her gradually, through small moments, missed signals, ignored changes. She tried to communicate before, subtly, indirectly, but it didn't land. So she stopped explaining and started transforming. And that's when the gap grows. Silently, dangerously, she starts craving something deeper. Not just attention, not just routine, but meaning, connection, intensity. And if she doesn't find it, she starts looking within, or worse, looking elsewhere. Now here's the part most people won't admit. This phase isn't about destruction, it's about awakening. But awakenings can destroy what no longer fits. And that includes relationships. So what can you do? Can you stop it? Control it? Reverse it? Not exactly. But you can understand it. And understanding changes everything. Because when you realize this isn't rebellion, it's reflection, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding intelligently. Instead of asking, why is she changing? Ask, what did she lose along the way? Instead of resisting the shift, learn to adapt with it, grow with it, or risk being left behind by it. Because here's the truth, she's not becoming someone else. She's becoming more of herself. And that can either strengthen the relationship or expose its weaknesses. Now think about this. If someone suppresses themselves for years, what happens when they finally stop? Exactly. They change. Fast. Deeply. And sometimes permanently. So the real question isn't, why did she change? It's, were you paying attention before she did? Because by the time most men notice, it's already in motion. And once that shift fully happens, there's no going back, only forward. Would you recognize the signs early? Or would you be the one left wondering what happened? Comment below and subscribe before you forget, because the next video might explain the part nobody survives.